Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all to the inaugural ceremony of the 12th Padma Vibhushan NA Nani Palkhivala Memorial National Virtual Moot Court Competition and Research Paper Competition 2022-23. Moot court competitions like such reverberate the sentiments of Nani Palkhivala when he said, and I quote, "A lawsuit once started in India is the nearest thing to eternal life ever seen on this earth. If litigation were to be included in the next Olympics, India would be quite certain of winning at least one gold medal. With this moot court, we intend to give incipient mooters an opportunity to simulate a real courtroom. Moot court competitions inculcate in students skills of argumentation, logical disputation, and research. They also provide a suitable platform to students to take initiative and to speak up against the injustices of and illegalities in the society. A moot court competition simulates a court hearing, usually an appeal against a final decision, in which participants analyze a problem, research the relevant law, prepare written submissions, and present oral arguments. Moot problems are typically set in areas of law that are unsettled or that have just been subject to recent developments. They usually involve two grounds of appeal argued by each side. Mooting enables students to engage with and think deeply about interesting and topical legal issues, enhance their advocacy, legal research and writing skills, work closely with and learn from their peers, and demonstrate their interest in advocacy and competence as an advocate to prospective employers. Mooting is intellectually challenging, and the thrill before memorial submission and during oral rounds is unparalleled. We're honored to have the opportunity to host this competition as a sign of obeisance to late Nani Palkhivala. His contribution to the field of law is profoundly inspiring. Having argued cases like Keshwananda Bharti versus State of Kerala, the Privy Purses case, and the bank nationalization case, he is not only a legend but also a role model to all law students. His advocacy during his cases can be best summarized in the words of Justice H.R. Khanna, who remarked, "It was not Nani who spoke, it was divinity speaking through him." We hope that the participants of this competition exemplify the teachings and ease of argumentation with which Nani Palkhivala conducted himself. With that, we will now proceed to the addresses. We are honored to have with us the Vice Chancellor of our university, Professor Dr. Dilip Ukir. We also have with us Registrar Sir of our university. I call upon the Registrar to grace us with his wise words.
Thank you very much. A warm good morning to all. The office bearers and members of the All India Tax Practitioners Federation, the DSC Practice Association of Maharashtra, members of the MNLU Mumbai faculty, the organizing team. I know that you are so enthusiastic to start the program, and so I do not want to be in between the moot court and you. So I take this opportunity only to wish you all the best and all success in organizing this program. And I also greet you all on behalf of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, who is traveling out of Mumbai currently and he could not join this program today. We deem it as a privilege for us to jointly organize such a wonderful event, that too in the name of a legend in the legal profession. And I take this opportunity to thank our partnering organization and its office bearers, the All India Tax Practitioners Federation, as well as the Maharashtra GST Practice Association, for extending all their cooperation support to us. And also I congratulate the organizing team for arranging this program. And I have seen the tremendous work they were doing, how tirelessly they were working. So they also deserve to be appreciated at this point of time. And with this, I wish you all the best once again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We have with us the chairman of the All India Federation for Tax Practitioner, Mr. Mitish Modi. Sir, would you be kind enough to grace our event with your pearls of wisdom?
Thank you. Good morning and warm welcome to all the dignitaries, especially the joint organizations, President Sunil Khuslani GSTPM, Mr. Vipul Joshi, the President of the ITD Bar Association Mumbai, our respected National President of AIFTP, Mr. DK Gandhi sir, the other dignitaries, the Senior Advocate, respected Dr. K. Sivaram sir, Guest of Honor, respected Sri Suhasi Mane sir, Chief guest of this today's inaugural ceremony, ITD President, Mr. G.S. Pannu sir, all the office bearers of my West Zone, the office bearers of other organizations, seniors, and friends. I welcome all of you from the bottom of my heart. This very flagship program of Western Zone of All India Federation of Tax Practitioners, Padma Vibhushan and a Palkhivala National Moot Court Virtual Competition 2022 and Research Paper Competition 2022. Sir, this competition is an honest attempt of the All India Federation of Tax Practitioners Western Zone to bring awareness amongst the law students of India about the advantages of knowing tax laws, the contribution of Sri N. A. Palkhivala in taxation laws of our country is immensely admirable. In this year, in this competition, we say with proud that about 75 teams of colleges across the country are participating in the competition, which shows the students' readiness and zeal to prove experience plus learn is equal to grow. This is the real terms, the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. In our education system, the demand for practical training is rapidly increasing. This initiative of our AFTP Western Zone should encourage the students to acquire in-depth knowledge of taxation laws with practical exposure. The Honorable Judge from the High Court of Gujarat, Honorable Justice Mrs. Sonia Gokani ji, and Honorable Judge from the High Court of Mumbai, Honorable Justice Mr. Valmiki, will judge students' performance and mentor them to be successful tax practitioners. Honorable Mr. Justice R.V. Ishwar, former judge, Delhi High Court, will judge the research papers. The young professionals and students have also an opportunity to present their research papers on the given topics. Overall, in my opinion, this event is going to turn into a great opportunity for learning and surely elevate the knowledge of the participants. It is a great pleasure to welcome Honorable President, Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, Sri G.S. Pannu sir, as the chief guest of the inaugural session. It is also a privilege to welcome the Honorable President of Maharashtra Sales Tax Tribunal, respected Sri Suhasvi Mane sir, our guest of honor, and esteemed valued guests and honorable members of ITT Mumbai. I also welcome, on behalf of our All India Federation of Tax Practitioners family, our national president, respected Sri D.K. Gandhi sir, and our immediate past president, Mr. M.S. Rao sir. We all, the tax profession, feel very much proud of this moment. I am thankful to Mumbai National Law University, MNLU, Mumbai ITT Bar Association Mumbai, and GSTPM Association for collaborating with the knowledge spreading event. I am also delighted that our e-souvenir is also being published on this occasion, which will lend valuable insights into this Moot Court Competition 2022. Once again, I myself and on behalf of my whole team of Western Zone of AFTP with the associated organizers extend a warm welcome to each one of you to this flagship event and invite you join the hands for its grand success. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for those wise words. I now call upon Mr. Vipul Joshi, the President of the ITAD Bar Association.
Sir, you have to unmute yourself, sir.
Oh, Suhas Maneji, my fellow heads of organizing partners, Registrar of Maharashtra National Law University, Professor Dr. Anil Variyatji, National President of AIFTP, Shri D.K. Gandhiji, President of GSTPM, Sunil Khuslaniji, Chairman West Zone, Shri Mitesh Modiji, immediate past President of AIFTP, Shri Srinivas Rao, and past President of not only AIFTP but also ITT Bar Association, Dr. K. Shivramji. My fellow professionals, ladies and gentlemen, let me wish you all very warm and pleasant morning in this winter season of our country. I get immense pleasure to address at this inaugural ceremony of Padma Vibhushan Shri N.A. Palkhivala Memorial National Virtual Moot Court Competition and Research Paper Competition. My pleasure gets heightened because this competition is conducted in the fond memory of none other than our beloved legendary Shri Nani Palkhivala, who I can say a God gift to our nation. To speak something about Nani Palkhivala, especially among the tax professionals, is like being asked to speak about sun, the sheer presence of which is enough to understand and experience the mighty power which with you. And there simply remains nothing to say anything further. Mr. Palkhivala's innumerable qualities are all well known, be as a sharp jurist, be as an accomplished lawyer, be as a tax expert par excellence, be as a mesmerizing orator. His record for holding public meetings for budget for decades with thousands of people eagerly waiting to listen his single word is not only unbroken but like a folklore. As a lawyer, one of his outstanding qualities, or rare, we might say, was his uprightness, boldness, and fearlessness while arguing. He never hesitated to call a spade a spade. I will highly recommend everyone to at least read his preface to 8th edition of his what we call tax Bible of his book Kanga and Palkhivala Law and Practice of Income Tax Act. Just read that 8th edition preface and see the language, the way he has presented his views on the government. It's really worth reading, at least one for all the students of tax, all the professors. Never have come across such to the point hard-hitting observations against the government, more particularly the tax administration. Incidentally, should I say, his observations against the tax regime, echoed in his inimitable style, are still hold good. Mr. Palkhivala fought mighty government, sometimes bitterly tooth and nail, without fear or favor, but never compromised his principle and ethics. At the same time, and this is very important, he never carried his high persona with any air of supremacy or arrogance. In spite of his godlike presence in the court, he was never overboard, overimposing, overbearing, or intimidating to the judges, but was quite courteous and respectful to the court. As a young budding advocate, I was fortunate to see him arguing. In one of his last arguments at Peel for Chamber of Tax Consultant was simply outstanding. And I think out of many, it is this quality such moot court competition should strive to imbibe among the law students and young professionals. But most importantly, it was his human qualities that were par excellence, which was more valuable to this nation. He was a great humanitarian. Not many, especially young professionals, would know that he had varied interests in life. Just a quote from his legendary book, We the Nation, would drive the point. At the end of his chapter, Truth and Service Above All, he says this, quote, certain ideals and values which open up a larger meaning to human existence will always be beyond the pale of the law. And that is why a lawyer has to be well versed in other subjects if he desires to aim at excellence, unquote. And then he paints a couplet. The law the lawyer knows about is property and land. But why the leaves are on the trees and why the waves disturb the seas, why honey is the food of bees, why horses have slender legs, and hope survive the bird disease, the charity is more than this. This, as they said, Lord don't understand. We at the ITT Bar feel more privileged to associate with this competition as Nani Palkhivala was our past president, served more than 3 decades as our president. And it was our association, along with the AFTP and GLC at that time, that started Moot Court competition in his memory for almost a decade under dynamic leadership of Dr. K. Shivaram. And of course, at that time, it was in physical mode with ITIT Mumbai very graciously and gracefully allowing the actual courtroom to be used for the preliminary rounds and also allowing the honorable members to be the judges of the final rounds. But of course, now the time has changed, the advancement of technology, and of course, due to COVID, we have now all the hearings have started virtual. Now we have got a faceless assessment, we have got faceless appeal under Income Tax Act, and about faceless tribunal, we don't know what is the fate. But now the virtual hearing may be the need of the hour in future. But still, it has its own, the virtual hearing has its own plus and minus. I just very lighter when I must say, there is one of the orders which I have come across, where the assessing officer observed about the SSC had filed writ petition in the Gujarat High Court. At that time, today also Gujarat High Court did a live streaming of the proceeding. And he quoted the live streaming of the particular SSC's case, which was being argued by the SSC advocate. And he observed in the assessment order that the SSC's counsel could not answer the judge's question. That is why the SSC had to withdraw the writ petition. That is why some adverse inference to be drawn. This is how the virtual hearing has its own plus and minus. But in either way, I'm happy that this law colleges across the country, more than, as I said, more than 50 law colleges across the country are participating this year. And also we have got very fantastic response from the research papers. I wish all the best to the participant, and I'm sure they will get enriched by the Moot Court competition, and by not only by learning the court craft, but also having the actual experiences where the judges are to be the actual judges who are going to judge the final rounds. And I will be failing my duty if I do not recognize and appreciate the efforts by the core committee and especially the team MNLU for the excellent arrangement, excellent conduct of Moot Court. Thank you very much and best of luck to all the participants.
Thank you, sir, for those wise words. I now call upon Mr. Sushil Kushlani, the President of GST Bank.
Thank you, Madam. Respected dignitaries, His Lordship Sri G.S. Pannu, Sir, President IITAT, His Lordship Sri S.V. Mane, Sir, President MSTT, Dr. Dilip Puke, Sir, Vice Chancellor MNLU, Dr. Anil Varyat, Registrar MNLU, Presidents and Chairmen of all participating organizations and participating advocates and delegates, and managing committee members of all associations, and the persons who have worked from the back door and who are in successfully conducting this 12th Padma Vibhushan N.A. Palkhivala Memorial National Moot Court Competition for the year 22-23. A very good morning to you all. Honorable Justice H.R. Khanna has remarked, if a count were made to be made of the 10 topmost lawyers of the world, I have no doubt that Mr. Palkhiwala's name would find a prominent place therein. Nani Bhai Palkhivala was a renowned lawyer who fought most crucial battles in Indian constitutional history, defending the fundamental rights of the people. Among other things, a distinguished jurist, an economist, a defender of the constitutional liberties. Nani Palkhivala was a man with multifaceted personality. Sri Nani Palkhiwala's story is not just a journey of the legend who saved the constitution, but also an inspiring tale of an extraordinary man who overcame all odds. As a president of GSTPM, we are fortunate to be the part of this event. The Goods and Services Tax Practitioners Association is a state-level body of the indirect tax practitioners established in the year 1951. With the introduction of GST in the year 2017, the state-level body, which was earlier known as Sales Tax Practitioners Association of Maharashtra, was renamed as the Goods and Services Tax Practitioners Association of Maharashtra. We would like to thank Maharashtra National Law University full-hearted support and assistance in organizing the Nani Palkhivala Moot Court competition, organized by our association jointly with ITAT Bar and AIFTP. There could not be better idea than this for paying respect to world-known advocate late Sri Nani Palkhivala. Main object of holding this competition was to give platform to young qualified advocates to understand and learn about the presenting himself or herself before the honorable courts and remove phobia usually they have in their mind. Sri Nani Palkhivala was an eminent personality, legal legend, and he continued his profession as an advocate till the last with vast knowledge, great ethics, and skills. He had a great respect of the judiciary. I am amazed with the response received from the students of law to the Nani Palkhivala Moot Court competition. I would like to thank all the honorable judges for sparing time to make this competition a grand success. I wish all the participants all the very best and every success in coming professional life, and wish they shall follow the path and wisdom of Sri Nani Palkhivala in their professional career. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir. We also have with us Mr. Srinivasa Rao, who has previously served as the AIFTP National President. I call upon him to grace us with his words.
I think he's not online.
We'll take his speech whenever he joins. I think there is a technical issue in him joining. I now call upon Mr. D.K. Gandhi, the National President of AIFTP.
Thank you, Amna. Very good morning to all. Respected Honorable President G.S. Parnu, President ITAT. Respected Shri Suhasvi Manesar, President Maharashtra Sales Tribunal. My friends on the dais, Dr. K. Shivram, Vipul Joshi sir, Sunil ji, West Zone Chairman Mr. Mitesh, and Mr. Shashi Bekal, all my friends and the enthusiastic team of the MLNU Student Society. Friends, I feel very happy to be part of this event. Not only because I am discharging the duty of the All India Federation of Tax Practitioners, but very important part is this, that our federation has been established, formed with the inspiration of none other than Padma Vibhushan Nani Palkhivala ji. Whenever we start our oration, whenever we say about our federation, we take this name with a very pride. I will not be speaking much about the personal quality of eminent Padma Vibhushan Palkhivala sir, because it is very difficult to describe his qualities on a public platform, and whatever in personal life we can achieve, even a single quality, that is a real success in life of a lawyer, because the benchmark which Palkhivala sir has set for any lawyer are remarkable. And friends, I want to congratulate my West Zone Chairman, Mr. Mitesh ji, Sunil Kushlani ji, and Mr. Vipul Joshi, President ITAT Bar, to come up jointly to keep this flag going on. And special thanks to Dr. K. Shivram, who is the inspirational force behind organizing Nani Palkhivala Memorial Moot Court competition along with the MLNU. Dr. K. Shivram has been persuading everyone that show must go on in spite of all the difficulties. I salute you, sir. And as far as university is concerned, I congratulate all of you and overwhelming response which you have got. It is all because of untiring efforts of all of you students. Friends, the topic which you have chosen, especially research, everybody understand the literal meaning of research, that whatever is available you have to search it again, but that requires a beautiful quality of any researcher. And in the field of law, it is very necessary that every lawyer must have the quality of doing the research for going into his tax battle, legal battle, whatever case you have get. Only message I would be asking the student, while doing research, you can use three things. As a team with your friends, engage, educate, and then achieve. If you are a friend of force, three is a team, engage, educate, and achieve. And your research will be beautiful, complete. That is my take, which I want to convey to all of you. Once again, congratulations and special congratulations to all the coordinating associations for coming together for taking this flag ahead and ahead. Thank you so very much, all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for those wise words. We're also pleased to have with us Senior Advocate Dr. K. Shivaram. I call upon him to grace us with his words.
Thank you very much. Was Honorable President yes, Pannu, I think, expected on his way. That is what he held up some topic. And we are having with us Honorable Sri Vas Mane, President GSTM. Very nice of you, sir, joining this conference. And of course, we are having our National President, Mr. D.K. Gandhi, and our Vipul Joshi, President of ITIT Bar, and Sunil Lani, President of GSTM, and our West Zone Chairman, Mr. Mitesh Modi, and Vice Chairman, Mr. Acharya, and also the Patkar and many, that our Paras and all these people who work for this entire the team, and especially the Dr. Anil Varia and their team. In fact, we are obliged for all of them to joining this, making this our event possible to organize this. Friends, I thought of sharing with only the 2-3 issues. What the object of this Padma Vibhushan Dr. Nani Palkhivala Memorial Tax Moot competition is to increase awareness about the contribution of late Shri Vanya Palkhivala in saving the democracy of our country, and to encourage young law students to enter the field of taxation. This is what one of the compare also morning mentioned it. But when we started the Moot Court competition in the year 2004, as Vipul Joshi rightly pointed out, Nani Bal Memorial Tax Moot Court was the only moot court on the taxation, on subject of the taxation of our country. The object was very simple, that the discussing taxation was to motivate the students, to take study of the taxation law. That is one of the objects when we started. And to encourage law students to develop the skill of writing, as our national president mentioned, Mr. Gandhi, technical articles. We have started research paper on the taxation subject in the year 2005. Writing research papers, they help the law students to develop their writing skill, which in turn will help them to get better opportunities in their professional career. This year, in fact, we have started introduce the research paper to encourage young tax professionals to developing the writing skill. Just for information, that I'm pleased to state that the 3 of my juniors who have started writing articles have now written the book on specific subject of income tax. This is one of the objects what you want to encourage all the students to develop the skill of the writing. In fact, our earlier speakers referred about the Palkhivala. The Palkhivala is a role model for our generation of lawyers, and he was the first generation lawyer. And by hard work and determination, became one of the greatest lawyers of the country. It is my sincere belief that any lawyer can excel in the tax practice, litigation practice, if he or she follows the value and ethics and determination practiced by Mr. Palkhivala. Law students, I think many of maybe you are, by YouTube may have visited this program, who desire to excel in the tax litigation practice may read the special issue of journal, the AFTP journal, that on the AFTP, the 2013 August volume, titled A Tribute to the Stalwarts of the Tax Bar, wherein the eminent lawyers shared their interaction with the three stalwarts of the tax bar, that is R.J. Kola, N.A. Palkhivala, and S.P. Mehta. And it can be downloaded from our AFTP website, that is the www.aftponline.org. We must acknowledge that Income Tax Appellate Tribunal has supported this educational program of Nani Palkhivala Memorial Tax Moot Court Competition ever since we have started conducting the year 2004. As Mr. Vipul Joshi rightly pointed out, earlier days we used to use the courtroom, and at that time I used to say the law students, though they have not completed the law degree, they used to get an opportunity to argue for the sitting members of the ITAT. Otherwise, normally it may have to take 10 years to argue for the tribunal is concerned. That we are grateful to the Honorable President, former President, Vice President, Honorable members, the ITAT. Of course, you are obliged to Honorable G.S. Pannu, the President of ITAT, for accepting an invitation to be chief guest of the inaugural function, and of course, the Honorable Sri Suhas Mani, President MSTB, as a guest of honor. We are grateful to the Honorable Justice R.V. Vishwar, senior advocate, for judging the research paper for the law professionals, and Tushar Amani, senior advocate, Gujarat High Court, for judging the research paper done by the law student. So there will be full transparency to all independent persons. They are judging so there will not be any bias. Absolutely, they are practicing day-to-day income tax concern. The Maharashtra National Law University is one of the leading educational institutions of our country. The Honorable Justice Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, Chief Justice of India, is the Honorary Chancellor, and Honorable Justice Dipankar Datta, Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, is the Pro Chancellor. It is an honor for the ARTP, Attended Bar Association Mumbai, GSTM, to be associated with this noble cause of the Moot Court competition. The Moot Court team of MLU, under the guidance of Professor Dilip K, Vice Chancellor, and Dr. Anil Varaya, Registrar, and Mr. Amanna Kare, who was the backbone of this, have made excellent preparation. In fact, initially we had about 75 law colleges enrolled. Now I think the participation may be less than that. And this has been made possible due to the use of technology and digitalization. In the era of technology, the team deserves appreciation for use of technology for presenting their cause. Nani Park Mulk competition has a great heritage. The Honorable Mr. Dalbir Bhandari, the then Chief Justice of Bombay High Court, adjudged the final Moot Court competition, the first Moot Court competition. Now he is the presently Chief of the International Court of Justice. Honorable Justice Dr. D.Y. Chandrachud, a senior judge of Bombay High Court, adjudged the 8th Palkhivala Memorial Tax Moot competition, and he presently Honorable Chief Justice of India. Some of the professionals and only members of the ITAT who have judged the Moot Court, now they are some of them are judges, some are retired as judges. That shows that how this Moot Court is very important for us, and that later they are elevated and also judged our final Moot Court competition. And it is our dream that some of the law students who participate in N.A. Palkhivala Moot Court competition be elevated as judges of the High Court, and in future as judges National Court, and they can come here as a judge. That is our great dream, and hope that after a few years some of the students, maybe High Court judge who have participated in earlier Moot Court competition, and will be happy to invite him for this Moot Court competition. This is the legacy, and we want that we should continue forever. That is what our whole emphasis is. Let me share with you one of the unique features of the Palkhivala Memorial Tax Moot competition is that the final round of the competition is always judged by the sitting judges of the tax bench. of the High Court. This year we'll have as our chairman mentioned, judged by the Honorable Justice Mrs. Sonia Gokani, Gujarat High Court, and Honorable Justice Valmiki Menajis, the Bombay High Court. So the technology, like this is the advantage of technology. One we called from the Gujarat, one from Mumbai. Last year also we had one of our own member elevated to the High Court judge, Dr. Anita Suman, the lady judge, and one from Ranka. Both are our own members, elevated High Court judges. They have judged the final moot court competition. So semi-finals always judged by the sitting members of our ITAT. Now this year will be judged by the Honorable Sri Vikas Avasti, Honorable Maharshi Prashant, Honorable Sri Pawan Singh, and Honorable Sri Rafiq Rahman. They are all sitting members of the ITAT. They are going to, in fact, we are really grateful to them. And finally, the professionals who are judging this moot court competition, in fact, they are all practicing the High Court, most of them are practicing. That's why that all the students should know that all those who are judging, they are professionals appearing by court. And you are sure that all the three organizations will support this education program year after year. And I wish the Nani Palkhivala Memorial Tax Note Competition all the success and the best for all the participants. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for those words of yours. Is Mr. Srinivasa Rao with us right now?
The message that net issue is there. Connectivity.
We believe that he's facing some connectivity issues. So we will be moving on to the next address. We will now have the address by Honorable President of Maharashtra Sales Tax Tribunal, Mr. Suhas V. Mane, who is also our guest of honor for today.
Please unmute yourself, sir.
Sorry.
I think our Honorable President Pannu Sahab, I think, held up in traffic, and I think.
Welcome,
Dr. Shivram. Dr.
I'm
Shivram,
sorry,
I have
sir.
joined from the light.
We have to, sorry, sir. We have to trouble you because I can understand.
No.
And welcome,
No.
sir. Welcome, sir.
I hope.
Welcome, sir. Good morning.
No,
Good
not
morning.
really. In fact, our great pleasure, sir. I was telling beginning only because of ITAT. It is our last, in fact, 12 years because ITAT and all of you have helped us. And, this is how we want to continue the heritage and the support what we got from the ITAT. That is all our desire, sir.
Thank you.
In fact, our of course, our model members also judging our
Yes.
panel, that all of them agreed that in fact obliged to all of them. Yes,
Right.
madam, please go ahead. Thank you.
Good morning to all
Yes,
of
sir.
you. Honorable the Vice Chairman of Maharashtra National Law University, Professor Dr. Dilip Uke. Honorable the President of Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, Mr. G.S. Pannu. Honorable the Chairman of All India Federation of Tax Practitioners, Mr. Mitish Modi. Honorable the President of Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, Bar Association, Mr. Vipul Joshi. Honorable the President of Goods and Service Tax Practitioners Association, Maharashtra, Mr. Sunil Khushlani, Honorable Farmer President, All India Federation of Tax Practitioners, Srinivas Rao, Honorable the National President, All India Federation of Tax Practitioners, Mr. D.K. Gandhi, Senior Advocate Mr. K. Shivram, all the participants, young lawyers, senior advocates and friends. All India Federation of Tax Practitioners, the Income Tax Appellate Tribunal Bar Association, Mumbai, and the Goods and Service Tax Practitioners Association of Maharashtra, the Sales Tax Tribunal Bar Association, with the Maharashtra National Law University, Mumbai, have jointly organized a moot court competition relating to taxation law. It is perhaps the only moot court competition dealing with taxation laws as a specialized subject. I congratulate all the associations for this trend-setting novel activity. I am grateful to all of them for inviting me to address the aspiring lawyers and the young professionals. Another trend-setting feature of this moot court competition is that it is organized virtually. It is now well known that Apex Court is pushing for the digitalization of court records as well as court hearings proceedings, with special emphasis on virtual hearing. The future is now a virtual. Lawyers from districts or even at far away from the territorial high courts can now argue in any court of law over India, including the Honorable Supreme Court of India. In such a situation, training the students for effective presentation in a virtual settings is very important, and I'm very much happy to note that this particular moot court competition is taking efforts to educate and train the students for the virtual future. All the three topics that are selected for these competitions are important and interesting topics to research and discuss in such a national-wide competition. Particularly, the topic assigned to the students for submitting research papers on digital virtual assets and its tax implications is very burning topic in the current financial scenario. It assumes its importance because the government of India is also carefully analyzing the unfolding of digital virtual assets scenario at global level so that it can formulate the legal policies to regulate such assets which are emerging in the financial domain. In the Finance Act of 2022, the Government of India has defined virtual digital assets and made some part of it taxable. Still, the government has cautioned the citizens about making the transactions by using these assets because of their high volatility. Currently, the virtual digital assets possess high fluctuations in price and virtual value. It can be invested, transferred, stored, or traded electronically. However, it cannot be used as a financial transaction or be part of any investment scheme. Now it is the need of hour to consider the framing of laws governing the utilization of virtual digital assets. The global scenario and the technology enabling virtual digital assets are very dynamic in nature. So I think it is the best time to discuss the selected topics for this competition. The other two topics assigned for the professionals are necessary for the comparative study of the reassessment in the taxation laws so as to face the future challenges effectively. I wish all the very best to all the participants and appeal to all the participants to put their all efforts, hard work with great sincerity, honesty to make this competition a success, which will in turn cultivate a habit in the participants to understand the subject in a proper sense, present it aptly, and consider pros and cons effectively, which will help in shaping their career in the legal field. With these words, I close my address. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Those words were indeed inspiring as well as informative. We will now proceed to the address by Honorable President of ITAT, Mr. G.S. Pannu, who is our chief guest for the day.
Unmute करके बसा हो गया. That's okay. Can you hear me now?
Sir, you're audible.
Yes.
Okay. I'm extremely sorry for not being able to join earlier. We just came out of the traffic. I just entered my chamber here. So first of all, apologies to everybody who's present. The Vice Chancellor of the Maharashtra National Law University, Dr. Dilip Ji, the learned and honorable President of Maharashtra Sales Tax Tribunal, Shri Suhash Maneji, whom I just heard, and all other professional bodies and the representatives who are there. I can see many, many familiar faces right from and all across the country, right from Mr. Gandhi from Delhi and to Dr. Shivram from Bombay, Mr. Modi is all there from Gujarat. Well, frankly, and of course, the most talented youngsters who are going to be participating in this movement. Well, when I'm amongst the youngsters, and that too at the start of the day, and from a city of Lord Balaji, I am right now at Tirupati. It gives a very different energy, and when we see that such activities are being carried out, which will further strengthen and not only harness the youth power in the cause of the profession. The topics which have been selected this time, I think I have had the occasion of speaking to the participating colleges and the students, quite a few for a number of years. But there are two different features which I found different this time. Number one, there is also a research paper, competition among the research paper. No, this is for you to bring out your writing skills, which is so very also important. As you all know, advocacy has two limbs to it. One, of course, is the oral advocacy that normally we associate when we see lawyers and chartered accountants standing before the bodies, the constitutional bodies or the courts of law. The second and also the most and also very effective is the written synopses that are filed, and that also is a advocacy which is very, very essential. And I would tell you a few tips. First of all, the golden rule is there is no shortcut to success. You cannot miss this. You cannot, unless you do your hard work, unless you have patience, you cannot succeed in this profession. That's the one value you should always carry. And the second value we should always carry is that never lose sight of the integrity of the process at always. Because any court of law where you stand for to establish the rule of law, which is so very dear to this country, which is founded on the concept of rule of law. So therefore, all conscious that whatever that you propose, whatever you're trying to do is to further the cause of rule of law for the development of law, and you must always exhibit not only a personal integrity but also the institutional integrity that you have to protect while you're arguing for your clients before the benches. Well, if I start, I would first say that whichever body that you may be appearing before, is it either the income tax appellate tribunal or now in this year there are also people from the GST profession, even at the tribunals of the state level tribunals of the sales tax, or any other quasi-judicial tribunal that you may be appearing before, or even the court of law. First thing is you must also know what is the uniqueness, what is the jurisdiction, what is the scope of work before that tribunal. So that is very essential. For instance, I'll give why I say so. I'll give you an instance. For instance, if you are appearing before a court of law, certainly you can also ask for a quashing of or about the constitutional virus of a particular provision, which obviously is a very constrained argument when you set it up before a tribunal, a quasi-judicial tribunal, because it is the nature of the act. So therefore, in normal circumstances, possible for you to carry the day if you are to merely attack the constitutional virus of a particular section before the income tax appellate tribunal, or even for that matter the state sales tax tribunals for that matter. So therefore, other thing which you should also see is as to what is the scope. Generally, if you read the relevant provisions which control the function of a tribunal, you will see that the tribunal is competent to pass any order as it deems fit, to the extent it relates to the appeal before it. So therefore, unless there is a matter before the tribunal, unless there is an issue which is there before the tribunal, we should not be asking for directions. It may not be very correct to ask for decisions which are outside the purview of whatever is the matter before the tribunal. Of course, I will leave it to the skills of Dr. Shivram to explain to you what does this mean practically, and that probably will take him quite a couple of time. But I am giving a fundamental suggestion that that's how you have to, prepare yourself. And number 3, and which is very important, is that you must communicate effectively. Now, if you have to communicate effectively, for instance, let's take the case of the income tax appellate tribunals working. As you all know, the ITAT is one forum which is final on facts. You would have normally you would have understood also while hearing to the senior advocates and the seniors in your office or otherwise also that our findings of facts are final. Now, what does that mean? The point is, there is an assessing officer who has audited your return, and there is an assessment order there. Then there is a CAT appeal stage, which CAT appeal, as you all know, has plenary powers also. Apart from, he can do whatever has been done by the assessing officer apart from his own plenary powers of enhancing the assessment or modifying the assessment for that matter. The tribunal is the last authority in the hierarchy of appeals under the Income Tax Act, where the findings of facts can be recorded. Therefore, because thereafter, once there is an appeal which is against our order, it's only on the question of law, and that too, which is dependent on admission by the High Court on a substantial question of law. So it would perhaps be a very arduous task, or a rather impossible task, for you to set up a fact in a particular case if you have failed before the tribunal in setting up that facts. So be very careful when you interview your clients, when you brief your seniors, when somebody briefs you with regard to appeal before the tribunal, you must see to it that you thoroughly master the facts and see to it that the relevant evidences are already on record before the lower authorities, or if there is a shortcoming, then how to make up with the shortcoming. You must know the relevant rules of the income tax appellate tribunal's practice rules. So therefore, these are small tips. If you're thorough with facts, if you're thorough with your case, you would obviously be in a position to communicate effectively. And that's what I mean when I say, apart from articulating your matter precisely, you must also be effective in communication. And another golden rule is that always look up to the bench, always be in a visual communication with the bench through your eyes, and I try to understand whether the members on the bench, they are able to follow you, because ultimately that is your objective, to put across your view, to put across your area of focus, put across your client's facts, your client's position on a subject, on a law, on a legal position, to the bench, to the members of the bench. So therefore, you always be very, very sharp and be ready to adjust your arguments. The moment some question comes from the bench or a particular query comes, you must be in a position to adjust and be flexible in your approach. Well, to succeed before the tribunal, there is no fixed recipe or a fixed formula. You need to be flexible when you are there are different judges. They may have the same view on a particular point of law, but it is very much possible their inquiry, the thought of inquiry could be very different. So therefore, you have to be versatile and flexible. And all this can happen once you start you start coming to the courts and sitting at the back benches and listening to what's happening in the court. How does the seniors stand up and argue their matters? How they are able to build up their case? How does the bench react? What particular bench reacts to an argument being put forth? So these are certain things which you must evolve in your profession as you seek to come into your own. Other aspect of the thing is that having known now that institution, what are its jurisdictions, what is the scope of its powers, and what can you expect, you must also be very thorough with the precedents on the subject. Because ultimately, your objective should not merely be to succeed in any case. Your objective has to be that you are in a process of development of law. Because ultimately, you provide the necessary inputs to the bench. If you provide the correct inputs to the bench, the bench may not be in a position to come out with the appropriate decision. And if we are not able to come out with appropriate decision, it will not do good to your client if that matter gets overturned at the High Court level for that matter later on. So therefore, you must be clear, you must appreciate the legal position, and thereafter, most certainly, bring to the notice of the bench the manner in which how you look at the legal position as to what is your perception of the legal position, and that's how you have to convince to the bench. Another aspect which is becoming very relevant as of today, you see that due to the advent of information technology, all judgments of almost every court from every nook and corner of the country is being reported, because you see this in your social media, you can see that in your mails, you can see through every kind of other electronic communication system that we have around. So it can always be confusing, because you will get that one-liners, you will get that two-liners as to what is a flash, as to what a particular decision has come from a particular bench of the tribunal, or maybe High Court, or even on the Honorable Supreme Court for that matter. So therefore, to avoid the confusion, if you want to rely on a particular case, you should have thoroughly read the entire judgment in totality. Much of the cases, much of the logic in the minute the details which can be seen only if you have read the judgment thoroughly. I can go on and give so many examples which we have come across over the years, that on a given set of facts, a particular decision would definitely prevail. But it is very much possible, if there is a range of facts in two facts, one different fact, or a different dimension to a fact, the particular case law will not operate. And that if you go to read only the head notes and make out a case, the other side may be able to prevail upon and distinguish the whole thing with a small factual distinction which will be present in your matter. So therefore, this is where the thorough. So this is one aspect, and another most important aspect is that once you are practicing before a forum, you develop a. So the benches also at times also develop faith in you when you are standing up. Every second day, every third day when you're appearing, some of the statements the bench relies upon because of your standing and the credibility that you build up. Never lose on a credibility to win a case. If there is a particular fact, if there is a particular legal position which you feel is unsurmountable, do not try to go around it and win the case, because ultimately the other side is there to protect its interest. It may show up, it would definitely show up, and the bench, if it gets a feeling that yes, this gentleman could have brought out this also, but skirted the issue, it will damage your credibility. You may win one case, But in future, your credibility might be damaged. It will be much more worse off. And the important thing is, it would hit the process of development of law in the before the institution and the benches, which is so very important in somebody's career. These are things which are of vital importance. Another aspect which I must say is when filing of synopsis. These days, the institutions have multiple cases fixed before it. The call lists are heavy due to shortages of members, shortage of time. You may feel that a bench is not able to give you adequate time as you should be for your oral arguments. Yes, in such situations, you must file also written submissions, written arguments, but they should be so filed in a concise and a specific manner so that they are not unwieldy. Please understand that when you file your written statements, when you file your written synopsis, they are ultimately be the basis for the writing of a judgment for the members. So therefore, you have to structure your submissions in such a manner that it must clearly bring out the facts of your case. It must bring out the background of the entire dispute, how it has traveled up to the tribunal, and it must bring out the legal position on the subject, and then also your arguments as to why that legal position fits into your facts of the case. If you do this, the structuring, that will be of help to the benches. It will also bring out your qualities of making the bench clear of what you are expecting from the bench. These are the skills which you have to work on. These are the skills that you have to hone in at the time when you're sitting in your offices, when you're working for your seniors, when you're looking at the briefs which come to you, and when you assist your seniors, when you look at your colleagues, when you look at other case laws which are on the subject. This is how you have to hone your skills of appearances or making appearance before the tribunal. The moot court competition which is happening today, and which the foundation has been doing for X number of years, as Dr. Shivram said, almost 12 years. The tribunal is absolutely proud of its contribution for having contributed to the and every year we are trying to contribute, but good and all good marks to the persons who are behind it in organizing. I see the young lawyers also coming forward and organizing these such kind of moot court competitions. I am also happy in this year that there are certain young professionals also who will be taking part of this competition. Yes, certainly, yes. This is a forum, this is a forum which will give you bread and butter. So therefore, be fair to it. It will give you credibility. It has given credibility, and it has given a legendary status to persons like Mr. and Palkhivala Sahab. He always said that that was his home. That is where he loved to practice. That was his first love. So therefore, it's a very illustrious ecosystem that the ITAT and other tribunals work in. And once you are into it, but you need to work on your skills, your soft skills, your skills to stand up, to marshal the resources, and put across your cases to the bench. That's how you will succeed. And I wish all the best for all the organizers today. I wish that every team which is participating will outdo the other, and it will be tough for the judges. It will be tough for the members on the bench to decide as to which is the better one. I wish all of you remain the best, and good wishes to all of you. And thank you very much for giving me an opportunity again. My apologies for not being able to join in earlier, but all the same, all the best to all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for the sagacious words, sir. That marks the end of today's addresses. However, before we proceed to the vote of thanks, we would like to take this opportunity to unveil the cover page of our souvenir for this event.
That's good.
Those are the cover page of the souvenirs for this event. I would request the chief guest, Mr. G.S. Pannu, to inaugurate them.
Okay, so you want me to press it? How do I do that?
You can formally declare it is inaugurated.
Okay, fine. Thank you. I'll do that.
You could say
So
a
it's
few words
formally
about them. That would be.
inaugurated. Thank you and
Yes.
all the best. It's a wonderful cover
Thank you
page.
very much.
Very thoughtful cover page. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank
We would
you.
also like to take this opportunity to further showcase the trophies that the participants will receive for winning any award in this event.
हाँ, ये विषय अपना सिस्टम ऐसे अब दूसरा कुछ आ गया yes yeah so funny perfect.
With that, we come to an end of this inauguration ceremony. I deem it a privilege to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. I want to begin by extending my heartiest gratitude to the chairman of the All India Federation of Tax Practitioners, Mr. Mitish Modi, for gracing us with his presence today and enlightening us with his words of wisdom. I would also like to thank Mr. Vipul Joshi, the president of the IT80 Bar Association, for fitting this event into his tight schedule and motivating us. Furthermore, I would like to extend sincere gratitude to Mr. Sunil Kushlani, the president of GST PAN, for honoring us with his valuable presence and encouragement. Mr. Srinivas Rao, who has previously served as the AIFTP national president, has been kind enough to participate in this event and has provided us with enormous support and guidance. We're very thankful, sir. Next, I would like to thank and appreciate Mr. D.K. Gandhi, the president of AIFTP, for blessing us with his presence today. Finally, I take this opportunity to extend my most sincere regards to Mr. G.S. Pannu, the Honorable President of IT80 and the Honorable President of Maharashtra Sales Tax Tribunal, Mr. Suhas V. Mane, for imparting the best of their knowledge through their words of encouragement. The presence of all these distinguished personalities has set the ball rolling and indeed motivated us to make this competition a grand success. I want to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Mr. Dilip Oke, Dr. Dilip Oke, as well as our Registrar Sir, Professor Dr. Anil G. Varya. Without him, this event wouldn't be a remarkable
everyone to
and illustrious. We are grateful, sir, for providing us with the opportunity to carry on the legacy of conducting such a good competition.
open
In these trying times, the encouragement and support from our able mentor is indeed the driving force behind any successful event. For us, Professor Aman Khare has been the guiding light. We've been fortunate enough to have his insights on various matters, and it was his constant support that helped us organize this national level moot court competition on a virtual platform. We thank him for being our mentor. This event would not be possible without the enthusiastic participation of students across the country representing some of the most reputed law schools. Hence, we extend heartfelt gratitude to all participants, and we hope that this competition ends up being an excellent experience for all of you. I would like to thank the participants for their zeal and enthusiasm. We're looking forward to an honorable competition and may the best mooter win.
Nitya, can we take a photo?
Yes, sir, we
So
can. I will do that.
request all the participants to switch on their videos.
Yes, sir. All participants kindly turn on your cameras. We'll be taking one picture.
Yeah.
Vipul, you see,
I'm there. Yeah.
Your video
Yeah.
video on.
Okay.
Okay, I hope everyone has turned on their cameras. We'll be taking a few pictures.
Yes.
Go ahead, but I think some technology, some connectivity issue. But please go ahead.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Padma sir. Thank you, Gandhi.
I would like to say thank you to everybody for their humble presence. We will now proceed with ending this meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Shashi.